Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that Infect is on my list of most hated decks. Probably my most hated deck in all of Magic, and because people know I hate the deck, I get a lot of requests to play it. So this week, you're kind of getting your wish. We are playing a deck that isn't in Modern and doesn't have any actual creatures that deal poison counters as damage, but it's essentially an Infect deck. I'm calling it Poisonless Infect in Kaladesh Standard, and this deck is really absurd. It kills opponents consistently on turn 4 in a very Infect-like way. So as you can see, only $87 in the paper world, 34 ticks on Magic Online, so super cheap, especially when you consider the power level of this deck, which is really off the charts. A quick reminder before we break down the deck: if you enjoy Budget Magic and this Poisonless Infect deck, it would be amazing of you if you could take a quick second, click that subscribe button down in the corner of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. Anyway, let's talk Poisonless Infect. So the main idea of this deck is we need to generate 3 energy, at least, over the first 2 turns of the game. So for this, we use Attune with Ether, which also is really important to the deck because we only have 20 lands. We really don't want to get much past 4, maybe 5 lands. So Attune lets us play 20 lands, gets a land out of our deck, which is really nice. So it's basically an additional land, except it's a land that also adds 2 energy. So Part 1 to making the energy, Attune with Ether. Then we have Voltaic Brawler and Servant of the Conduit as our 2-drops. Both make 2 energy. They also do other things. Brawler is kind of a backup way to win the game. There's some games where we just play a really fair game of Magic, play multiple Brawlers, beat down with 4/3 Tramplers. Servant can help us ramp. One thing that's really key with this deck, energy is a hugely important resource, so managing your energy is really important. The idea is we gotta have 3 energy heading into turn 3, then we have a card that's gonna make 3 more energy, then we need 6 energy on our turn 4 to win with the combo kill. So really think through when it's correct to play the Voltaic Brawler and pay the energy to pump it up. This deck, when it combos off, it's usually going to be enough to win the game on turn 4 through just about anything. So giving up the opportunity to get the combo kill, to get in 1 extra point of damage with Voltaic Brawler, or produce 1 extra mana with Servant of the Conduit, usually isn't worth it. So make sure to think through how you're managing your energy with this deck. Harness Lightning does double duty, can kill a creature like Smuggler's Copter, can also just be an energy ritual, deal no damage, gives us +3 energy for 2 mana. So these are the cards that help us make sure we have that 3 energy over the first 2 turns. We also have Ether Hub, which combines with Servant of the Conduit, Attune with Ether, to give us 3 energy. So turn 1 Ether Hub, turn 2 Forest Servant of the Conduit gives us 3 energy heading into our turn 3, then we get 3 more, which gives us 6 on turn 4, which is where we need to be for the combo kill. And Long Tusk Cub gives us a backup energy sink. It's part of our backup plan where we just Voltaic Brawler, Long Tusk Cub, make our things big, win by beating down, like a really fair green-red energy aggro deck. So how does this combo kill work? Why is getting 6 energy so important? The key card to winning with the combo is Electrostatic Pummeler. So a 3 mana 1/1, I know, not particularly exciting. It does give us 3 energy when it enters the battlefield, so that's why we need 3 on the first 2 turns of the game. Electrostatic Pummeler gives us 3 more, which gives us 6. Then it has an ability where we can pay 3 energy, and essentially we double its power and toughness. It gets +X, where X is its power. So you can pay 3 energy, it's a 1/1, it becomes a 2/2, pay 3 more, it becomes a 4/4. I know it's not that exciting. Dumping a bunch of energy into it to make it a 4/4, that's not going to win a lot of games. But there is a trick to it, because Electrostatic Pummeler just checks for power and toughness when it starts the doubling. So if we can use some pump spells, we can combo off and win the game on turn 4. So the easiest combo kill is Larger Than Life. So say our opponent's board is empty. We have our 6 energy on turn 4. We make 3 from Ether Hub and Servant of the Conduit. Then we get 3 more from Electrostatic Pummeler. So we have 6. On turn 4, we Larger Than Life our Electrostatic Pummeler, makes it a 5/5. Then we pay 3 energy, double it up to a 10/10, pay our other 3 energy, double it up again to a 20/20, swing for 20. 20 just happens to be the magic number in Magic. That's where your life total starts. So on an empty board, 6 energy, larger than life on Electrostatic Pummeler, wins us a game. Game over on the spot. Of course, the board's not always going to be empty, so we have some backup plans where we can deal even more damage with Electrostatic Pummeler. So, Built to Smash is another pump spell. It's basically like a giant growth, but it only goes on attacking creatures. It also gives the creature trample if it's an artifact, which is really key. So it makes sure we can win even through blockers. So let's say on turn 4, we attack with Electrostatic Pummeler. We Built to Smash. We Blossoming Defense, another pump spell. This one is essentially Vines of the Vastwood for standard, +2/+2, and hexproof, so it's really key in protecting our Pummeler from removal, which is how our opponent's going to try to beat us, by killing our Pummeler before it kills them. But we Built to Smash, we Blossoming Defense, that puts our Electrostatic Pummeler up to 6 power. We double, puts it to 12 power, to 24 power. That wins us the game. Even more crazy is turns where we, on turn 4, Electrostatic Pummeler, Built to Smash into Uncaged Fury, which gives Electrostatic Pummeler +1/+1 and double strike. That leaves us with a 20/20 double striker, which is almost guaranteed to win the game through anything. In playing against this deck, I had a game where I played a Verdurous Gearhulk with double Panharmonicon. I had a 12/12 Verdurous Gearhulk back on defense. Our opponent didn't even care, killed me immediately with Electrostatic Pummeler and Uncaged Fury. Dealt like, I don't even know, 50 damage, 100 damage, some ridiculous number. So basically, things get really out of control. And this isn't even considering that if we're killing on maybe turn 5 instead of turn 4, we have even more energy. So we could triple up on Electrostatic Pummeler. I've seen it get 50-something power at some points, sometimes with double strike. So it is really ridiculous what you can do with Electrostatic Pummeler and pump spells. This is what gives the deck the Infect feel. You get the pump spells like Infect. Double strike makes normal combat damage work like Infect damage. Blossoming Defense is our Vines of the Vastwood, protecting our creatures from targeted removal. So this is how we win the game on turn 4. Get that energy, and it's surprisingly consistent because remember, we also have Voltaic Brawler, which you can pay an energy to give trample to. You can do the semi-combo kill with that on turn 4. Built to Smash into Uncaged Fury. You're dealing 18 damage or something like that. So there's other ways to kind of put together the combo kill, even without Electrostatic Pummeler. And then we have Bristling Hydra, which is just a good card. It's a 4/3 for 4, gives us 3 energy. We can pay 3 energy to give it hexproof until end of turn, and give it a +1/+1 counter. So our backup win plan is just to dominate the game with Bristling Hydra. We make a bunch of energy. Our opponent can't really deal with Bristling Hydra because we can grow it and give it hexproof, and we just kind of swing with it, and eventually it eats through the board and wins us the game. Plus we have, like I said, Voltaic Brawlers. We're going to draw a Pummeler eventually. We can throw our larger than life at Bristling Hydra. Really, that's a combo kill too. It's not as quick, but on turn 5, say we play Bristling Hydra on turn 4. On turn 5, we can larger than life to give it +4/+4 in trample, makes it an 8/7. Then we pay some of our energy to give it hexproof and pump it up, make it a 9/8. And then Uncaged Fury, +1/+1 in double strike, makes it a 10/9 with double strike. That adds up to 20 damage as well. So there's a lot of ways to add up to 20 damage on turn 4 and turn 5. Electrostatic Pummeler is the only way to really get the combo kill on turn 4. But if we wait an extra turn, we can combo off pretty easily with other creatures as well. Plus, we just have good cards. Voltaic Brawler, Bristling Hydra. All these cards can just kind of win the game playing a regular green-red aggro deck. As far as the rest of the mana base, we get some duels, we get some basics. Moving to the sideboard, we get some more removal. Galvanic Bombardment to deal with early game creatures. Harness Lightning gives us another out to Smuggler's Copter. Clip Wings for Emrakul's, also can hit Smuggler's Copter in some matchups. Sky Sovereign, Avacyn, a lot of different targets. We also have some artifact removal, appetite for the unnatural and natural state, and then some last new Helions. So one of the ways this deck loses is just by running out of creatures. If we run into a really controlling matchup, our opponent's just going to want to kill our stuff, kill our stuff, kill our stuff. While Blossoming Defense helps, if a deck is really overloaded on removal, they can just kill all of our threats and make it really hard to win. Last new Helion gives us a hasty threat and an additional threat out of the sideboard to bring in those type of matchups. So it's nice to have a kind of a counter to the real removal heavy draws that we can run into from our opponents. And that is Poisonless Infect in Standard, and I have to say this deck is really absurd. So if you are interested in killing your opponent on turn 4, and you like throwing pump spells at things and kind of just goldfishing your way to really fast kills, you gotta check it out. It's super cheap, it is incredibly powerful, it is fairly resilient. The combo itself can be disrupted if the opponent can kill Electrostatic Pummeler, but Bristling Hydra, really hard to deal with. Voltaic Brawler, just a good card. So we're like a green-red energy deck, which is kind of where I actually started when I first built this archetype. I was playing a really straightforward, no pump spell, green-red energy, play a bunch of good creatures, get in some damage, win that way. But adding in the Infect kill, the combo kill, just takes this deck to a different level because the opponent has to play differently. They are constantly asking, am I dead? And constantly playing in a different, less efficient way because they're worried that they're suddenly just going to die to Electrostatic Pummeler out of nowhere. So because our opponent has to focus on this combo kill aspect, it makes it easier to steal games by just playing Bristling Hydras and Voltaic Brawlers. So the deck is really good, it does some crazy things, and I think you'll have fun with it. Anyway, that's been our deck tech for Poisonless Infect in Kaladesh Standard. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoy the gameplay videos, and I will talk to you soon.